Hey, what's up guys, WiseGuyVito here. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the Double Freedom. It is a double barrel shotgun Helldivers 2, 4-gauge powerhouse, and M90A dethroner. I never thought the M90A was that good to begin with, but a lot of people thought this gun was absolutely just, the M90A was just perfect where it was at, guys. It was, it's a buckshot shotgun, it doesn't need medium pen. Well, this gun proved them wrong. The M90A needs medium pen, or to make it something even more special, because the Halo gun, it's a crossover IP content. It has a reputation behind it. You can make it heavy pen, right? I'm calling for the baseline, or for its baseline to basically be medium pen. I think that'd be nice for it to have, but we're not so lucky, because the M90A got a buff today. It got a durable damage of 5 per pellet, right? That doesn't sound like a lot. It ends up coming out to be like a 60 durable damage buff, but it doesn't necessarily change it. I still can't one-shot Alpha Commander heads. I'm able to two-tap Alpha Commander heads, what I believe to be like maybe a few meters more. But other than that, that doesn't really change the M90A. Like, the M90A is now irrelevant. So if you're ever scared of the Punisher being irrelevant, congratulations. The gun that you were most scared about making the Punisher irrelevant is now irrelevant. And guess what? The Punisher still has its place. It still has its place. It still has its place as being a light pen, Omega stagger. You can have, because I think that the Punisher has pretty good ammo economy. That's just me. And you have a pretty good ammo economy. What does the M90 have? 50% damage for 50% less ammo, and it's light pen. It has the light pen curse on it. It's a curse that it should never have. Sorry. End of story. So people got to eat that now, right? Unless they call for buffs, and they join me in calling for the M90A to have buffs. And we settled this silly, dumbass shit argument that buckshot shotguns can never be, ever be medium armor pen. It was dumb whenever people made this argument. It's dumb now. End of story. And this shotgun proves it. I call it the double barrel of freedom, because it is. It is freedom to use this gun. I feel like this is the most fun I've ever had in Helldivers 2 with this one fucking weapon. And this proves my point exactly on why we should stop with the silliness of looking at ammo types, even though I do it, but I believe that is the only way to really look at arguments these days. And the Helldiver sphere is that people are so unbelievably gun-nutty autistic that we have to, for whatever reason, argue whether or not ammo types could pen armor or not. How about we just go based off of fun, guys? Okay? And this shotgun definitely proves that. So let's go over the stats real quick for the double barrel freedom. So I'm going to show you just like little snippets of like the wiki, because like the wiki is still getting updated as we speak, but like I do think it's pretty good at where it's at right now. First and foremost, this thing does 840 ballistic. I'm not for sure on the durable damage, but who cares, right? Like, the proof is in the pudding, right? It's medium pen, of course. It's, of course, a double barrel, so it only holds 2 shots. And it has 2 firing modes. You can either fire one at a time, quick succession, so as fast as you can pull the trigger, or you can fire both barrels at once. It has a volley mode to it. The volley mode is really, really fun. The volley mode is what makes this gun unique and makes this gun very, very fun to use. And to be perfectly honest with you, even though this gun makes the M90A completely irrelevant, it's not overpowered, to be perfectly honest with you, because once you fire those 2 shots, you have to go through a long reload. You have to go through almost a 2-second reload from my understanding, which means that you're open up and you're vulnerable. Yeah, sure, whenever you have those 2 shells loaded in, anything that comes in front of you, they better watch out. But then once those 2 shots are met, or 1 shot is met, you kind of have to play it smart with this weapon. You kind of have to be pick and choosy a little bit. But let's talk about some of the breakpoints that I have seen today. I was streaming earlier today. By the way, I'm starting to stream a little bit more. So if you do subscribe to my YouTube channel, you will get those notifications. You can hop in, say hi, ask me anything, ask me about my opinions and stuff like that. I've been answering a lot of questions here lately about my thoughts on certain things. So as always, like and subscribe. It greatly helps me out, of course. But let's talk about on the bug front. So the bug front, this thing one shots, headshots, alpha commanders. This is what the M90A should have done, to be honest with you. But this gun does it, and does it at absurd ranges as well, because of the tightly packed grouping. I don't know if this thing has a full choke or not. It feels like it has a full choke. It's either going to be a full choke or a half choke. Either way, this gun feels really, really good against alpha commanders, even to the extent of if you do shoot an alpha commander in the head, sometimes it'll just straight up just kill it. Sometimes whenever you shoot an alpha commander in the head and the head falls off and stuff like that, it will then start to go at you. It'll start attacking you and stuff like that. Not with this gun. I have seen consistently, depending on like how close they are to it, that whenever you do one tap ahead of an alpha commander, it'll stop following you. It'll just drop where it's at. So again, that feels pretty good. Bile spewers feels fantastic. So like you don't have to worry about aiming for like their mouths and stuff like that, even though it's not really that hard really that hard to aim for. You just blow their heads off and it's fine. For chargers, this is an actually amazing gun. It takes 2 volleys consistently to blow off the booty of a charger, or it takes 3 shots. So however you want to do it, you can do a volley, switch it back to the one at a time, and fire it once, or and blow up the charger butt. So basically, it takes like 3 shots basically, or you can just do the consistent 2-tap volley to it, and it blows off the butt of a charger, and then it'll slowly bleed out over time. The impaler, once the impaler goes down to the ground, if you're aiming for its head, it takes 2 shots, volley, of course, and again, that feels pretty good as well. So again, like, this is a big game. It's not really good for crowd control. I will say that the double freedom is definitely not good for crowd control at all, in my opinion. This thing does struggle against things like a group of hunters and a group of warriors, so it does have a balancing act to it. This gun is not really good at horde clear. It just is not. But what it's really good at is those 3 or 4 different like high level or like elite style enemies, so like alpha commanders, bile spewers, chargers, and stuff like that. Even anti-tank, if you can aim for their weak points, of course. Like, that's what it's really good for, and you can definitely see this on the bugs, right? And of course, it handles hive guardians very well. It's usually just 1 shot, and to be honest with you, the 1-shot kill range for this weapon for hive guardians is actually pretty good as well. So this gun is fantastic on the bug front, especially if you're going for those elite style enemies. So definitely want to use this on the bug front. On the bot front, I do think this gun is actually very good. I think it's really good against Devastators especially. It can 1-tap Hulks, like their events. It can consistently 2 volley tanks in the back, or I want to say you can just fire 3 shells into the back of a tank and it blows it up. So in my opinion, just do the volleys, because the volleys is more consistent rather than just firing just like the 3 individual shots. Just do the volleys and it'll be fine. And yeah, like the destructive force of this weapon, again, is very, very good. I haven't necessarily tried this out on Factory Striders yet. I would like to try it at some point. I can assume that it would be good against Factory Striders if you go underneath their belly and aim for the shuttle gates, where they drop like more Devastators. Then the gun would actually be, I think that it'd be fairly good even against Factory Striders. But again, you have to get up close to it, right? That's the danger part of a Factory Strider, and it does take some skill to do it. A lot of people think that takes no skill whatsoever. You have to worry about other enemies shooting you. You have to worry about the Gatling miniguns that it has, right? You have to knock those off first before you go underneath it. So again, like, there is some level of skill whenever you're handling and try to defang a Factory Strider. It's not that easy. Despite all what people say, but it is pretty good on the bot front as well. On the Illuminate side, I do think that this gun does wonders against flush mobs. It takes and it's inconsistent at times. For sure, it's a 3 volley kill against flesh mobs, so that's pretty good. There are some times I have seen me killing flesh mobs in 2 shots. I don't know if that's just like the enemy's bugged, or I'm gonna say necessarily bugged, but the enemy is slightly damaged already. But if like you can consistently 3-tap flush mobs, it just feels really, really good to use against like the big meat blobs and stuff like that. Against overseers, flying overseers, this gun does very well. And what I mean by that is that if you're a good distance away, like let's say like 40, 50 meters away, you can, with 1 shot, not even a volley shot. A volley shot would probably make it more consistent, but with 1 shot, you can take out the jetpack of a flying overseer instantaneously. That feels pretty good. That's why I feel like the shotgun spread is actually very, very compact. So like it feels like a slug, but it really isn't. It's just the pellets are just really, really up close. By the way, the pellet count, if I haven't mentioned already, is indeed 12. So what do I and so like again on the Illumina side, it's pretty well. Not really good as a horde clear, right? You definitely want to bring something else for voteless and stuff like that. Otherwise, you're just burning through your ammo. You're mainly going to want to use this gun for overseers and flesh mobs. Again, this is an elite killer, an elite enemy killer. So anything that's not like a chaff or something like that, this gun excels very, very well. And of course, this gun also does, like basically does harvester's numbers. Does very good against the harvester joints and stuff like that. So definitely want to use it. Also, this gun also does very good against drones. So if you see drones out into the distance a little bit, you can actually 1-tap them with 1 shell. It does enough damage at those ranges to handle it. So again, the gun's very good. The gun's very, very good. So what are my overall thoughts? Well, obviously, I believe the gun is very good. I do believe that this is probably an A-tier gun, like a high A-tier gun, maybe dabbling in S, but I do think that it's definitely, for sure, an A-tier gun in Helldivers 2 right now, just simply because it handles, it kind of opens up build variety a little bit. It's not that it's overpowered and it opens up build variety. It's that the uniqueness of it for handling those type of like health tanks and those elite style enemies and stuff like that opens up for build variety. And I do think that this gun does very well. I was using this gun with the chainsword and I was having a blast because I felt like, okay, I can use the chainsword on certain occasions. Chainsword's kind of ass, but I can use the chainsword on certain occasions whenever it comes down to like if I want to save ammo or something like that, or if I'm 1v1ing a charger and there's no other enemies around, then I can use that. But for the most part, I can kind of use this double barrel and kind of have the freedom to kind of bring whatever I want. And that's a good feeling to have. So, but you kind of want to go for like crowd control stuff that's a little bit more honed in for chaff and stuff like that. So Stalwart would be very nice for this weapon. Just really anything that gives you horde clear for the most part. But other than that, though, it's a very good weapon. Like I said, I do believe that this gun is high A tier, if not leading into low S tier. But I don't think this gun is overpowered because, like I said, it does struggle with horde clear sometimes, especially whenever you're dealing with like a bug breach that just spawned underneath you. We have to see how this goes on the Predator strain. I don't think this gun's going to be necessarily good on the Predator strain. But why do I think this gun basically overtakes the M90A? Well, the M90A does 605 damage by its light armor pen. This gun does 840 damage and it's medium armor pen. So like you're going to be handling anything that the M90A was already handling before, but better. And there's not that much enemy spawning right now currently. And as far as like those elite style enemies that the M90A sure as hell, listen, like it can handle these enemies, guys. This shotgun handles it better. This shotgun handles it better and then some. So at this point, why not give the M90A its due, what it deserves, because it is the Halo M90A shotgun. It has a reputation. Give it fucking medium pen. This is no longer a debate right now. Give the gun medium pen. This 5 durable damage buff, I think, was the attempt at the devs kind of like testing the waters. I would only assume in a good faith way, okay, for the devs, because I do think the devs did an amazing job on this double barrel shotgun. I have to give credit where credit's due for this, okay? Some people don't like the reload speed. I don't mind the reload speed. I don't think it's necessarily that bad. That's just me. But you know, I do think right now that they're kind of testing the waters on how people would take with the M90A doing medium NAM or like medium armor pen. Arrowhead, if you're listening to me right now, okay, please give the M90A medium pen, okay? Give it something, because right now there's literally no reason to use this gun at all, okay? Like, there's reasons to use the Punisher because of the horde clear and the chaff clear and stuff like that. And there's reasons to use the double barrel freedom for those like bigger health tankier enemies, right? There's no reason to use the M90A. The M90A sucks. The M90A has now become one of the worst pump shotguns in the game because there's literally no reason to use it. No reason to use it. And if people say, well, it's really good against Stalker or like the Predator strain, wow. So we're talking about a faction within a sub-faction within a faction that it's good at. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Either make this into a support weapon and give a heavy pen, because why not? Like why the hell not? Because it's interesting and cool, and give a support and give a shotgun support weapon. I think that'd be kind of cool. Or make a medium pen. Keep the damage the way that it is. Make a medium pen. Give it more pellets. Like 15 pellets, like how it was in Halo, and it'd be perfectly fine. Because at that point, it would kind of dip into both camps, but not excelling at one or the other, right? The double barrel freedom would still be the powerhouse. It would still be like the highest DPS you can get, sorry, I'm gonna say the highest DPS, but the highest burst damage you can get. Right, within a short amount of time, just boom, right, like 2 shots rattle off because of the volley, right, and the long range that it has. It would still have this uniqueness. The Punisher, it would still be light pen, right, but you have the ammo economy. You have the chaff clear with the Punisher. The M90A would be kind of dabbling into both. Jack of all trades. Weirdly enough, the M90A would be that, which is very interesting and cool. Which I would be more apt to be using the M90A, because right now there's no reason to use the M90A other than it just looks cool. It's a Halo shotgun. That's it. Again, it's very surface level, and I don't think that the Arrowhead devs wants to necessarily make surface level content, even though they do a very bad job at performance of the weapons. I understand. I will be in very, very good faith here to say that they don't want to make a lot of surface level content. So we'll see. But Arrowhead, if you are watching this video, please make the M90A medium pen, because there's literally no reason to use it. And don't nerf the double barrel freedom, because it's not overpowered. Like, it struggles against chaff. Like, not necessarily like an individual chaff enemy, just the sheer numbers of chaff, right? It just doesn't do that well against. But it does do well against what it's made for, which is those more elite style enemies, those health tanks and stuff like that. So you guys let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I really want to hear what you guys have to think about the shotgun. Right now, I do believe that this is probably like one of the better shotguns in the game. It feels very good to use just overall. You guys let me know what you think, and you guys let me know, how you're liking it and stuff like that, interesting builds and stuff like that. As always, like, share, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.